I'm reading from NASB. This is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 4. It reads, "Again I will build you, and you will be rebuilt, O Virgin of Israel. Again you will take up your tambourines and go forth to the dances of the merrymakers." As I said, today's theme is God who builds. If you look at the true meaning of the word build in dictionary, it says to order and unite different materials into one composite whole. That's what it says. I got to know this yesterday, right? To order and unite different materials into one composite whole. Interesting. And the moment you say build, one of the things that comes to mind is, in a city like ours, where on the way, I'm sure you would have seen a lot of buildings, many buildings. Some are 10 stories, some are 20, some 50, like this building right opposite our church. And just for a minute, right, just to make it easy, I'm trying to draw parallels here. Imagine each floor is like 1 year of our life. Yeah. Each floor is built, and once that floor is built, the next floor, and so on. Sometimes, unfortunately, these buildings, they go down. It could be various circumstances. Could be an earthquake, could be a war, could be bad construction. And for those of you in the city, you will know of late there is something called Hydra, right? Unexpectedly, buildings are brought down. And everything then is destroyed. And suddenly, and I know of a few people who were actually affected by this, suddenly all the life savings are gone and everything becomes hopeless. Yeah. And the description, while it is for a building, the description is very similar to the nation of Israel. You see their legacy, how things were built. It was a great nation, God delivered them, and they were really flourishing at one point of time. And at the time that Jeremiah wrote this, they were destroyed. The nation of Israel was destroyed, and they were really hopeless. That's what happened to this country. And something that took years to build was gone, was gone. And it is at this point that God says this to Jeremiah, saying, "Again I will build you, and you will be rebuilt." And through this verse, we see one of God's characteristics, right? And we'll talk about those. When we look at this verse, "Again I will build you, and you will be rebuilt," we can derive a few things. Number one, our God does not abandon his people. Our God does not abandon his people. Again, going back to buildings, you also see some buildings half constructed and they're abandoned, right? You wonder what happened. Probably they ran out of finances or litigation, whatever, right? A few floors are built and no further construction, just abandoned. The kingdom of Israel was destroyed, they were dispersed. Physically, it was ruined. Spiritually, there was decay, and mentally, I'm sure, and emotionally, people had given up hope. But the Lord says, "Again, I will build you." And sometimes when we pass through circumstances like this, do we wonder, do we ask, "Lord, where are you when I'm going through this?" Are you thinking if God still cares? Hebrews 13:5 says, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." It's not like any other real estate company who makes promises but cannot keep. Our God is much, much far beyond that. In fact, there's no parallel, right? Our God will never abandon us. And that's why he says, "I will build you, and you will be rebuilt." It's not maybe rebuilt, right? I will, and you will be rebuilt. Number two, He is a God of second chances. He is a God of second chances. How many times in our own life have we taken 5 steps forward and fallen back 10 steps? I'm sure all of us can relate to this, right? Many times we um, it's um, we tell God, Lord, I will never do this again, right? But we fail God. We make these promises and we don't keep them. And instead of the word never, God says again. He does not say never will I. I mean, we keep telling him, Lord, I'll never do this, but in return he doesn't say never will I. On the contrary, he says again I will rebuild. What a contrast. Our God is a God of second chances. In fact, all of us seated here today is because God gave us multiple chances. If not, we would not be here. Would you agree? No way. No way. Who are we to stand in His presence? Thank God for these second chances. Number three, He is a God who will make things right. He is a God who will make things right. We just sang this song. The God on the mountain is still God in the valley. The God of the good times is still God in the bad times. When things go wrong, He will make them right. In this verse, He says, again you will take up your tambourines and go forth to the dances of the merrymakers. If your days are gloomy and if you feel like you are down in the valley, this is a stark reminder where God is telling us that He has not abandoned us, that He is probably working on you and He will bring back that song that you cannot sing. Right? He will make you dance, He will make you pick up your tambourines and really sing joyfully. Right? If your mouth has been silent and you have not been able to worship because of circumstances, or whatever you could be going through, God is telling you today, I will build you, I will rebuild you. What a promise, what an encouraging word that we have such a God who's so invested, He's personally going to build our lives. And we sang this song some time back where we said, whatever my God ordains is right. And then when you look at that definition that I read about build, right, to order and unite different materials into one composite whole. That is what He's done for us. We've been through, I mean, some of us are 20 floors, some of us are 30 floors, some of us are 50 floors, and so on, right? If we have to draw parallels with a building. And over the years, God has brought various circumstances together to build us to where we are. And He's not stopping, He's further investing. Some floors may take some time because He's working on you. But ultimately, He's building us up. He's building us up. If God has spoken to you today or reminded you of a time in your life when this was true, please take this time to acknowledge and say, Lord, thank you. Thank you because you have been my builder. Not people, not circumstances, not recommendations, nobody. But it is you who have built my life and I owe it to you. Right? We owe it to God to say, Lord, thank you. Right? And it's also a reminder for those of you who perhaps are not having the best time of your life right now. If you feel that you are in the valley, stand up because God is promising that He will rebuild. He will rebuild. Perhaps this season of your life is for pruning or teaching, whatever, but that is also part of the building process. So thank God for that, right? So please take this time, stand up, and thank God. Number one, our God does not abandon His people. Two, He's a God of second chances. And three, He's a God who will make things right. Please take this time.